click this button, and then say, yo, what up? Let's go, buddy.
It's going pretty well. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Nicholas D. Wolfwood under death. Big fan. Big fan. Love this guy under the death symbol. Hit me with the pitch. What's going on?
So I'm planning on playing in this weekend's webcam tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have all of the cool stuff. Like I've only got one copy of Battle or Release, so I'm making do with what I've got.
Sure.
I decided to swap over to Death from my original Fire plan so I could try out combined firepower, and I really wanted to play Lizard Tail Splitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially, now that we don't have our fun Botan cards.
Correct. Could we use that card? I guess it's a weapon, right? Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Yep.
Okay, so what do you need my help with?
So I'm still debating on combined firepower. I had to do some finagling with my foundations to get that response to be viable.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you had any ideas on anything else that I might be missing that could either help that out or if it's just worth taking it out entirely.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how married are you to the idea of combined firepower?
Like a 4. I thought it was a cool card and just wanted to try it out.
I think this card's bad in this character.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think the hoops are just too hard to jump through.
Well, then we've got some really easy cuts we can make.
Yeah, I think combined firepower just leaves. I have a Death Wolfwood deck that is available on Patreon that is like 99% of what I think Death Wolfwood should look like, and you're very, very, very close to it. How many tray size do you own?
That is all 3 I have.
Okay.
If I had the 4th, I'd be playing the 4th.
You definitely, if you can figure out how to borrow one for the weekend, I would figure out how to borrow one for the weekend. This is like the main reason to play this character at the moment. Is just the fact that like this one card represents 12 damage across 2 attacks is like crazy.
I do have a friend that has one. I'll reach out to him right after this.
Definitely should. So in my experience, what I think like is big Wolfwood energy is I think that you are supposed to play a lot of 4 diffs, and I actually think that playing 19 attacks in your 64 card deck is incorrect. I want to play a ton of attacks. I was playing 4 tray size, 4 twisting, 4 lizard tail, 4 dual needle lunge. We could play instant shining flash as like a good one if you don't like dual needle lunge. I like dual needle lunge a ton. This card is like another reason to just play the death deck because he just like shoves it in momentum and then we're off to the races next turn.
Oh no, I love dual needle lunge. I just only have 2.
Okay. I think that the weakest link in the deck genuinely is probably like big BFE. I think it's probably something a little better that we could do here because your deck isn't missing damage, right? Like damage isn't what we're missing. There's like other cool things that we could be doing. Let's just go look at what our death ranged weapon attacks are. And see what exists. How much Godzilla do you got? Obviously you got the combined firepowers.
I've only got 1 of each deck, so I've got 2 like Tri-Gravity Beam, and I've got the 3 uncommons.
We're gonna put this in the deck and see what's up.
It was definitely something I was looking at. Just for the hand rip.
You said you have 1 battle or release?
I have 1.
Yeah, let's play it. If you got
I'm
the
down
1,
for fun.
we play the 1.
Down for fun 1-ofs.
Yeah. I think Gouging Needle is very cool in this character. I think it's very, very cool in this character. 5 low for 7 with powerful 3 on a 0 high block is crazy.
Yeah, it was one of the ones I was looking at, but it's another one of those cards I've only got 2 of.
Okay. I think 2 of is totally fine. How many copies of this cool card do you have? We'll get there. Piercing Needle.
Oh, I've got a playset of that. That one's old enough for me to have. I was just more worried about having too many mid attacks.
It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal just because of how quick they are, right? This is a 6 mid for 6 mid for 6 with a 1 high block. right? It has EX3, so you can spend that momentum on. Deadlock Stun 3, which is like crazy. And like if like just because they have like we're playing a bunch of mid attacks doesn't mean that they have the mid blocks, right? Like the worst thing that can happen is you fight against the combined firepower deck, in which case like you just sculpt open twistings, open lizard tail splitters, and make their card pool actually count, right?
That makes sense.
Okay, so can I give you like what I think is your perfect attack lineup, and then see if you can borrow some of these cards for this weekend?
Yeah, go for it. I just know I don't have access to any more dual needle lunges.
Okay.
Or battle aura release.
If
like,
you can get this 4th tray size, it for sure needs to be exist in the deck. It just needs to. Whenever you take and we look at our block zones, you only have 2 high blocks in your attack lineup, and I think that is incorrect. Again,
well, I was balancing that out with more high blocks in the foundations.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. But some of these I'm gonna cut, right? Like confronting the MLA.
Yeah, we
like
don't need confronting.
Gone, right? And so I just want to cut BFE because I think that cards like Gouging Needle like do its job but slightly better.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So yeah, I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna toss in. I'm actually gonna go put it back on the table just because it deserves to exist. We're gonna just go put it in the sideboard. Because like maybe it does need to exist at like a 1-of, right? Like it could exist. I'm a big fan of double gouging needle. I'm a big fan. Like we could do like triple piercing and then put the 1 BFE back in. I was playing 24 attacks in my Wolfwood deck at like 60 cards. Right? At the same time, I was playing dual needle lunge at a 4-of, and so this card didn't count as progressive. I've got twisting that doesn't count as progressive, and so like I've got tray size that counted as 2 attacks, so it doesn't count as progressive 1 time. Like there was a lot of schmooves that I got to play.
I definitely understand playing more attacks, especially when Wolfwood can just murder somebody out of nowhere.
Yeah. And so like there's an idea where this is where it's supposed to be, and I think like if we absolutely wanted to, we could take like Punisher Beam down to a 3-of if we really wanted to. But this card does say go grab a momentum, which is very good. And like it's the only real 5 diff in the deck, right? Like this one's not a 5 diff, it doesn't count. This one wants to be played super late. It's like maybe just and they have to respect Punisher Beam. Like this card just always gets blocked. Yeah. Avoiding conflict. I don't think you need this card. I think this is a win more card, and I think that like instead of playing avoiding conflict, just play more attacks and have better foundation options.
That's fair. I just like a lot of the Trigun cards, so I've kind of been sticking with them in my Trigun decks.
This is, I mean, that's a fine idea, and if you're married to the card, like we don't have to cut it. But I think that this card is not as good as it originally was made out to be. Just because of the fact that we are a draw 6 deck, a draw 6 game, and not a draw 1 game. If we were a draw 1 game, I bet this card would be way stronger. But this card's fine.
That's fair. We can cut it.
Yeah.
I'm here to do well.
Yeah. Let's go look at Monster Zero. What do you do? Removes a card from the hand. This is unique. This is a cool card.
Yeah, it was cool. Cool hand ripping stuff. It helped proc. Freaking what's firepower?
Yeah, this card's cool. I don't hate this as a 1-of. I think removing a card out of their hand is messed up. I think it's crazy. Prideless Negotiation. This card's just bad, right?
It's mostly there because I don't have any Botons coaching.
That would be the reason. Yeah, it's fine. I'm probably gonna cut it down to a 2-of just because like it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, it was the lower number anyways.
Yeah, let's go look at some foundations. Actually, let's do actions assets first. I don't think there's much that we're missing. Should click standard so we don't look at these yucky Attack on Titan cards. There's an idea where we play one showdown mainboarded ? It could exist. I don't hate that idea. I think Battle Arena is supposed to exist in your deck because we are momentum starved. We want momentum every turn. And this says that if they have momentum hate, as long as I hit them once, they have to momentum hate me twice in order to stop my Wolfwood. So like I think that this is just supposed to exist, and this is 2 foundations. So like
Yeah,
when
I
I'm
definitely
playing
don't hate Battle Arena.
my big long strings, I feel great about it. Foundations. Look at the zeros, but I'm pretty sure we are already set. Man, this looks. I mean, coaching is just like the best option, but we don't have them, and that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. 1 divs. So I really like Malicious Evil. I think that this card, like as a 2 of in most aggro decks, is like really good. It stops resets, it stops draw power, it stops a lot of cool things at just a flip cost. It also stops things on like on defense. If they've got 2 really good abilities that you don't want them to, 2 really good abilities on a card, you can just tell them no, knock it off. It is
I definitely have
only
like
during the
the
enhanced
card.
step, and so like that's weird. But it's a 1 div. I like the card a lot. I think it's neat.
Yeah, it takes some thought process to actually know when to use it, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think cards like this are bad, and I wish people would stop playing them.
It was there to help get firepower active.
Totally. I'm cutting it.
Yeah, it and confronting were there for that exact reason.
Gone. I don't think Averse to Water is a bad card. I like the Frightening Calm. This is a 4 of that makes sense. There's an idea where we play Genkais? Question mark. Yes. 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 No. No.
Lizard
no.
Tail Splitter does. It has all.
We have all. We do have all. That's crazy. The all symbol has been wiped from my existence on this card. No. Yes. It's probably not worth it. I am not a fan of Dangerous Combatant. I think this card is whatever, but I get why people like it.
It was the lesser drop card.
Yeah.
And I needed low blocks.
Struggle with study. This card's crazy. Fighting for control is crazy. This card should exist in your sideboard.
I believe I've got 2 of it, so I can put those in.
Cool. I guess it is a rare. It's so tough to like look at this card and be like, oh, this is probably just a common. It's not. It's a little rare. How many weapon class you got?
I think I've got 2. I've got a lot of 2 ofs since my locals has dropped down.
That is okay. I think 2 of is great. Keiko's. How many of this do you have?
I've got a playset.
Okay. We're gonna definitely look at that. Big fan of Failed Role Model. I like this card at a 1 of in pretty much every deck that can play it. Mastermind's Apprentice. Thoughts on this guy?
I definitely like the card. It's. I've played it in the past and it's never really steered me wrong.
This card as a lock breaker turns you into Endeavor 3. Like once you hit your 10 foundations, which you're going to do with this deck, right? Like the idea of killing everybody on turn 2 doesn't happen, right? Your deck has a proclivity to do it, but we don't do it always. So this card saying I have 10 foundations, I drew 4 attacks, I will Wolfwood, I'll grab a 5th attack, and I go, okay, well now they all have stun 1 plus 3 damage, or plus 2 plus 3, I'll kill you this turn. I'll kill you from full. You're just dead. I think this card is really important. Just realize that these words don't exist on the card. As long as you just like
use it aggressively, don't use it defensively.
Never. Like the only time that you do it is like if I check a 3 here, I lose the game. Then you can do it, and they're all tapped out because they'll just pay for it. Like if they smell blood, they'll just pay for it. It doesn't matter. It's not a main board card. Putton Collector is a very good card. I am such a huge fan of Invincible Body. I'm also a fan of League Imitation. This card is +2 speed if you want it to be. Okay. So now when I come back here, I want to talk about the things in your deck that I don't like. Right?
Yeah, go for it.
Dangerous Combatant, I'm not a fan of. We have put in more attacks. I don't think that you need more draw power.
That's fair. It was mostly there because I needed low blocks.
Learning to Harden, I don't think that you need this card. It is -2 speed, and I get that, but I think just building out and blocking correctly is better than not.
Especially if we've got Averse to Water as our speed hate.
Frightening Calm, I think, is a cute one of. But it's a 4-check, and so I don't want it. I would much rather have things like Mastermind's Apprentice be in the deck. Where are we at? We're at 51 cards. Oh, we have so much room to play. I don't like Red Riot's the coolest. I get why it's here.
It's really just low blocks. I was having a hard time finding a bunch.
So the reason to play Red Riot's the coolest is if they have any damage reduction for twisting turns off. Right? And so, like, they have -1 damage, then twisting doesn't work, which feels bad. And so, like, Red Riot's the coolest, like, fixes that. So, like, I get it. Makes total sense to me. I don't like it, and I would rather just play around and, like make them use the minus damage. So now from here, we have so much wiggle room to play with cards, right? I want 4 Always Cool in my main board. This card is either build out extra resources, so whenever I use tray size, it's like better for me, or it says that I just don't die. They can't kill me. They play Armor the Wolf, and I tell them it's 5 damage, and I don't care about it, right? Same idea with like Invincible Body. I think this card is such a crazy deadlock, such a crazy poker card, and I have 28 health to mess around with, and I get to heal when I use my thing, right? Like it's so good. We have 6 more cards we get to mess with. They're allowed to be low blocks. Let's take and do Triple Struggling. Triple Struggling. We can do Triple Adverse to Water. 20, 20, 20, right? From here, if we want to go up any more, I think having bonus copies or having copies of Weapon Clash is good. You said you have 2 of them. This is minus damage. The fact that Fighting for Control isn't in our deck is crazy to me. The fact that I don't think we have room for Failed Role Model, sadly. And Body Splitter, Full Body Control is probably a sideboard card. But like now, this makes me want to take out Monster Zero, right? Let's just get rid of it. Frightening Calm, this makes me want to take this out because like Fighting for Control is just a better card, right? And like make them pay for bonus stuff, and I get to kill them easier. When I look at block zones, yeah, there's an idea where like things like Latent Skill are supposed to come out, or maybe like Fighting for Control is like a 2 of. Man, I just want to take out Frightening Calm.
I think we can take out the Frightening Calm. I don't think we need Latent Skill.
I am nervous about not having it because of Bad Lore release.
That's fair.
Like, if we had the 4 Bad Lore release for tray size, I would agree with you. Taking this out is not that big of a deal. But, like, I want to play at the 4 of. Maybe it's even, like, an idea of, like, we only play 3 surviving. Right? Just, like, cut this number down. And like maybe we see it more.
I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, or maybe it's like let's do this at a 3 of. Because like we don't have 4 Battle Aura, we don't have 4 Trace, we don't have 4 Dual Needle to give us the 2 extra cards with Wolfwood, and so like having some sculpting. We also don't have the Keiko's aids, right? Not Keiko's aids, sorry. Botan's coaching to mess with stuff. You know?
Yeah, the only real sculpting we would have is like Lizard Tail Splitter.
Correct. which will find a lot of value, right? So it's a 4 mid for 6, or a 4 mid for 7 on a character because they add a card.
Yeah, and gives us speed to everything else.
Yeah. But this might be like where we leave it to do some testing. Like, go test the deck, see what cards that I added that you like and you don't like. Like, it's possible that, like, Invincibility is just supposed to be cut for something else. It's possible that, like, Adverse for Water is not carrying the weight that we want it to, and it needs to go back to being some other ideas. BFE at the 1-up doesn't make sense, but as a dual needle or a piercing needle, right? You know?
Yeah, I don't hate this.
Yeah. Final thoughts?
I got to work on a sideboard now.
You got to work on a sideboard now. Love it. Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
I
Your
think the
tray size, if you can find the 4th tray size, just cut a Punisher Beam for it. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Either that or the BFE, right? Because it's a high block. I think it's actually BFE. It's BFE for sure.
Because we're high on the high blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would do it.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you the list, and thanks for the support over on Patreon. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah. I'm glad I could always get some help when I need it.
Good. All right. We will catch you next time.